Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Tuesday, August 26th. With me on the mic, I have two fabulous co hosts, my favorite Taurus and my gorgeous moon. Hey, y'all.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, and shout out to you, my gorgeous moon, and Chill, who's not here at the moment. But yesterday, as I said in part two of my show yesterday, I had some technical difficulties thanks to Spectrum and they ragged asses. But they were able to fix things, after what 5, 7 hours later. but but shout out to you ladies for holding it down. I was able to hear the end of the show and how y'all were able to wrap it up. And kudos to y'all, baby. Y'all did that. So thank you so much. But I think we have some good tea to go over. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. And because I chill is not here at the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and say it for her. It's tea time, yes. So our first piece of tea, honey, Lil Nas X. And I have to say, I really hate how TMZ has been reporting this. I just feel like it's just so like irresponsible and the pictures and the memes they were using about him. It was just like really. Ugh, anyway. But I have this link from TMZ here. Let me go ahead and share my screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at. And you should see where it says here, Lil Nas X is out of jail on bail. It says I'm out of jail. Just made a little quick exit. This is a quick video that we can watch really fast of him leaving.
Hey, Little Nas, how are you doing? How are you holding up?
Baby got a finesse sped off, honey. But it starts off by saying Lil Nas X is back on the street, but he's not walking home naked down Ventura Boulevard. He's riding around in a Jeep dressed up in his blue gel jumpsuit after posting bail. See what I was talking about? Like the irresponsibility, like he's not walking like come on there, really. Anyway. The Old Town Road rapper was just freed on a $75,000 bond, and we got him leaving a county jail in Van Nuys, and he was in no mood to talk to our photographer. Nas beelined it for a white Jeep that was parked waiting for him, climbing in the back seat and driving off as paparazzi chased after him. Lil Nas X has been super busy, legally speaking. This Monday, appearing in front of a judge and pleading not guilty after being hit with four felony charges related to this infamous naked stroll. Nas was arrested last week and held in jail over the weekend, but now he's finally free as the case plays out. It will be interesting to see what Lil Nas X does next, so stay tuned. I hope whatever he do next that y'all asses like report on it with some responsibility. And anyway, there's a update. It says LA District Attorney Nathan Hotman issued a press release confirming that Lil Nas X injured three police officers and faces up to 5 years in state prison if convicted on the charges. Child. So I just find it really hard to believe personally that a little skinny ass puss in boots like Lil Nas X, literally just strutting that puss in them boots, honey. And he stripped down to butt bone naked, but those officers who were armed, they feel like they were threatened or in danger. But like I don't, it's just not. I I don't know. I hate all of this. This is just. Ugh. Go ahead, favorite tours.
In the words of the late great Michael Jackson, you are not alone. I am here with you. I definitely feel the same. The whole thing just seemed very off to me, especially considering if it was such a huge issue and many police officers were involved with the incident. Where's the footage? I mean, someone of
Mhm.
his profile, of his status, especially TMZ's raggedy asses, they would have jumped all over it. But there's no footage of the incident happening, so the public can't verify it actually happened. It, there's so many holes in this story. It still feels very much like a publicity stunt, and I hate to say that. However, it's just very atypical from what we usually see when public figures slash celebrities slash musicians have run-ins of any kind with law enforcement.
Mhm. And then I saw like a lot of when the story broke on Twitter, I saw a lot of tweets that pretty much was saying like why y'all you this is why you should not call the police on people that are having mental health crisis, especially black people who are having like mental health crises because clearly look what's happening. Now he had to go to jail and now he got four charges that could how long it say he could face um
5
5 years
years.
in state prison.
Hmm. Which he won't face any jail time. Let's just be clear. He might get probation for a couple, and then the shit'll fall off. That's how it typically happens. And
Yeah.
so it's really interesting you say that, Auntie, because if related but unrelated, I'm not sure if you remember the elderly lady in Houston that was sitting in the middle of the freeway
Yep.
with her rifle. When I tell you I held my breath for as long as she was on that freeway, just knowing that these people will see her make a judgment call, be prejudiced against her because she is a elderly black woman.
Mhm.
So it shouldn't really be like that, but that's just the world that we live in currently, unfortunately. So, and it's also really surprising all this money that these law enforcement agencies, especially the LAPD and their crooked asses, no, allegedly, um, as much money as they have, and they haven't put the necessary support in place for folks who are experiencing mental health issues, but you want to bring someone who has maybe 6 weeks worth of training. I'm not sure the tenure of the officers who are on the scene, but people who are not equipped to handle those types of situations and to alleviate the situation. Like, no, it's just not.
It's not coming together. Like it's just not making sense. Like I'm just so glad I'm not alone in this because I'm just like really y'all doing too much. Come on now.
Like, oh, it's Little Nas X. Like, you don't typically hear this from other celebrities of other persuasions. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
Well, in general, they
Yeah.
always, for some reason, the other people on the other side of the hand, you know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
they always get the benefit of the doubt. Regardless, they could be holding a long range, shooting, slapping, spitting, and for some reason, they still get the benefit of the doubt. And we just don't, as a people, we don't get it. It's if somebody survives a police encounter that is aggressive, it's a miracle.
Hmm.
It's a miracle.
Which makes sense because we all know why law enforcement was created in the modern sense to begin with. What it was to capture enslaved Americans, Africans at that time, and bringing them back to their owners, essentially. So
Hmm.
that's where most people don't know that's where that actually came from, not to keep the streets safe. So
The more you know. Well, does anybody want to add anything about Lil Nas X or Crooked Cops before we go to the next story?
I wish him well. I hope it's not a publicity stunt. Let me slow down so I can get it out. And maybe, and if it, if he does really need help, I hope he gets it.
Same here. Well, speaking of another X who happens to be a rapper, Big X the Plug, who we talked about yesterday, his lawyer is prepared to fight for him, honey. And let me get y'all this link here I have from All Hip Hop. And let me share my screen here. You all should see where it says here Big X the Plug's lawyer vows to vigorously fight gun charge after release party derailed. So Big X the Plug had his album rollout cut short by flashing lights and handcuffs after a traffic stop in Southeast Dallas led to his arrest on misdemeanor charges just hours before a planned celebration. The Dallas rapper was taken into custody early on August 22nd after police pulled him over for lacking a front license plate. Officers said they detected the smell of marijuana and later discovered a firearm and a small amount of cannabis in his vehicle. The arrest occurred during a police operation targeting street takeovers. Big X the Plug was booked into Dallas County Jail on two counts unlawful possession of a firearm, and possession of marijuana under 2 ounces. His attorney insists the charges are minor and are being exaggerated. We're going to wait to see what the PC affidavits. I'm sorry, we're going to wait to see the PC affidavits, but we're going to work vigorously for our client because it just is what it is. His Valerie Batson lawyer told CBS News 11. It's two misdemeanors, and people are trying to make it a felony. Despite the legal setback, Big X the Plug wasted no time returning to his music. After posting bail, he shared a video on social media flashing 6 plaques, 3 gold and 3 platinum, while promoting his newly released country influenced rap album, I Hope You're Happy. The arrest derailed a scheduled album release event at a local Wingstop and followed a party the night before at Deep Alum nightclub. In his celebratory post, Big X the Plug did not mention the arrest. Instead, he focused on his chart success and the momentum behind his latest project. And you can see the post here. We won't play it because once this goes over to YouTube and YouTube hears that music, they're gonna give a bitch a copyright strike. So we don't need that. But yeah, so I'm glad to see his lawyer is but and this actually answered a question that I had yesterday, like, how did they get probable cause to even search his vehicle? And here it is right here. They detected the smell of marijuana. So that's that on that, child. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Speaking of, I hope you're happy. I wonder if he's happy with the results of the person that he voted for. That's all.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell
And
me that.
Miranda, yes.
Oh,
The biggest and largest fool for voting for that
God,
damn
that
man.
boy, that just ruined. I, you be trying to root for these people. You really be. I be trying to root for these people.
Child.
Ugh, now I'm just irritated. God damn
Well, and then once I saw that, I was about to say I'm gonna have to stop listening to his music, but once I saw that latest album was country inspired, I won't go listen to that shit anyway, because y'all know how I feel about that genre of music.
it. I was like, okay, the biggest. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Now I gotta stop. Look here, because you ignorant. God damn it. I knew he was ignorant. Didn't know he was that ignorant.
The
Damn.
common denominator is typically what, Miranda?
No, no, no.
Hmm.
And Auntie, I'm gonna get on you because I told you I wanted to be on the second half
Oh, I
and let me
know.
know.
I'm so sorry, honey. I just started. And once I got the internet came back up, I was like, let me just get it out the way. You see, I ain't even do no poster art
No,
for
you didn't. That's why I heard you earlier. I said, you did what?
it.
Eric?
I said, let me just do this shit, record it, and get it out the way, honey, and put it out there.
Because I wanted to, because I don't see and I don't even know what you're talking about. Because I hope it comes up today because I got some shit talking to do.
Yes. Well,
So
I've
if it
been
don't
very
come up,
bad. I should be
I will fall back.
punished.
You should. I wonder if I can get somebody by the name of Wayne to punish you.
Hey. And if Wayne is not available, you can always do it. It's fine.
My pleasure.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater, Charlotte. Stop it.
Oh. Well, does anybody want to add anything about Big X the Plug's 400-pound vote Trump supporting ass before we go to the next story? All right, y'all. Well, this next story. So we talked about Yellow Beezy a lot here, and we finally, we've learned about him. Pretty much being charged for orchestrating a murder for hire, and he now finally has a trial date. So let me get that here. I have this hot new hip hop article that talks about it. And you all should see where it says here, Yella Beezy finally gets trial date for alleged Mo 3 murder plot. So, Yella Beezy finally has a trial date for the capital murder for hire case in which he stands accused of allegedly hiring a hitman to kill Mo 3 in 2020. According to a new report from the Texas news outlet WFAA, new court filings show that Beezy will stand trial on February 2nd, 2026. So, February 2nd of next year. The rapper is currently living on house arrest with electronic monitoring after paying off his bond of $750,000 back in March. In a recent motion, his attorney, John F. Guscio III, requested that a judge provide him with limited work release, which we talked about here on the show. He argued that his music career is suffering as a result of the terms of his bond. Given the lack of violations and the condition that he maintains an ankle monitor, continued protection of the community is assured, Guscio wrote. So this is his mugshot here. Ooh, child. So prosecutors alleged that Yella Beezy hired a man by the name of Kawan White to carry out the hit on Mo 3. The attack occurred on Interstate 35E on November 11th, 2020. Footage of the alleged incident shows a man wearing a ski mask getting out of his car and approaching Mo 3's vehicle. When Mo 3 tries to flee, the man chases after him and fires several shots. White is already behind bars, serving a 9-year sentence for a gun crime. He recently made headlines for publicly asking Donald Trump for a presidential pardon, again, which we talked about here. Man, I'm trying to pay Donald Trump to get me out of here so I can get that bond. I need to pay Donald Trump to let me up out of this bitch so I can bond out and fight this shit from the world, man. White said during an interview with from prison with Real Life Productions. Another man, Devin Maurice Brown, is also facing a charge of capital murder in the case, but his alleged involvement remains unclear. He has a pretrial hearing coming up, and his full trial is expected to begin in November. So all is just this senseless ass, stupid ass violence. And now your ass about to get honey. I I mean, I feel like if prosecutors feel like they can charge your ass for this murder for hire, I think they have overwhelming evidence that they can take to court to prove that you did it. So, mm, ain't looking good, child. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It still blows me, and not in a good way, how these rappers are get into trouble and they scream for the help of a certain orange, a bruised orange man. It still blows me. It's so wild. They are so delusional.
These are killers, so I don't really expect them to like have
Have
any
good sense.
right.
Right. I mean, well, if you dumb enough to set up a murder for hire, those most people get caught. I don't know why they think they're gonna get away with it,
Hmm.
but hey,
And then remember, they killed that man in broad daylight, honey, on a busy ass highway. That shit is wild. Like you
yeah.
really, you are ruthless.
I mean, from the entertainment, the football players that have tried to do this, they get everybody
Hmm. So stop trying to hire people to kill people, y'all. It ain't worth it. Good
trying to kill
lord.
your spouse, hiring somebody. They get busted.
I love those little like Dateline or whatever those little news segments be about people who try to do that, and then you see a lot of times those people that they trying to hire to do the killing be undercover cops. So you
Yeah,
just see,
because somebody done snitched on them. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I ain't finna be a part of this.
So you just see the people like trying to set the shit up, and I'm just telling on them, incriminating themselves. It is just crazy to see.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be here, so won't you just go ahead and go get them while they da 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 da. I'm be like, wow,
Crazy.
wow. Well, oh well.
Oh well, we will definitely find out what's going to happen February next year, honey.
We kind of know, but okay.
Right.
Good luck.
Well, do anybody want to add anything else about Yellow Beezy, Mo 3, or Murder for Hire before we go to the next story? All right. Well, y'all, our next story, I have this hot new hip hop article. Jadakiss wants the fans to stop playing with him, saying that he grew up like the Huxtables just because he had both of his parents in the home, honey. Like this story is so I was reading it like, what? Okay.
Is this the new generation trying to come for Jada Kiss? Like they just found out about him and this is what they doing?
I don't know. I think it's a mix of the new generation and some old heads too, because you know the old heads ain't been acting like they got sense lately either. Quiet as it's
That's
kept.
true. That's true. Everybody brand new all of a sudden.
Hmm. But you see
Should
where it
nobody
says
be
here?
questioning Jada Kiss's credentials? He been legit.
Hello,
Like
money,
what?
power, and respect. Like put some respect on his name.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Auntie.
So, Jadakiss claps back at fans accusing him of growing up like the Hustables. So, Jadakiss recently fired back at fans accusing him of growing up in an environment similar to the Huxtables household on The Cosby Show. Discussing the comments he's seen on social media during a recent episode of his podcast with Fat Joe, Joe, and Jada, he shut down the idea. Some assholes in the comments think I grew up like the Huxtables, Jadakiss said. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people, but coming from where we come from, it's a beautiful thing to have both of your parents. I know in rap, they see all these people. Yeah, we had both of our parents. Do that mean we wasn't in the streets? No. That mean our household had gold spoons? No. My mom bust her ass. My pops was on drugs. He was able to shake back. I was outside doing shit. I was smart in school. I was athletic, but I was outside. He continued, just ask the people, just ask the cops, just ask anybody you want to ask. But for some reason, these people, you can't be standing up to your word if you have both of your parents. Are you some type of asshole? It's a blessing to have both of your parents. Joe agreed, going on to explain that he doesn't respect people who cuts ties with their parents. I never respected men who get a wife and get so in love with them that they forget their mother. It should never be no reason for you to cut off your moms or your parents, he said, as caught by Vlad TV. In other news, Jadakiss recently announced that he's teaming up with Beanie Siegel for a new album, executive produced by Freeway, titled Kiss the Mac. He announced the project in a video on social media over the weekend. We letting it out the bag. It's coming, Jadakiss says in the video. We'll see you real soon. We about to fuck the world up. Free executive producing. Since they made so many billions off of us, now we making billions off ourselves. I know that's right.
He need his own podcast without Joe.
Wake it up.
Ugh. And it could have been anybody else almost. He, I'm like, Jada, he is dragging you down, child. Please get rid of the dead weight.
Listen, he'll see the light soon. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It's like Fat Joe is representative of that one person that grew up in an environment that is quote unquote atypical for them to be in, and all of a sudden they now proclaim themselves to be more knowledgeable. They have an actual say in how certain people live, even though he doesn't belong to those demographics. It's wild.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Mhm.
just find it like real odd that he even had to like address this, and then the way he addressed it was just a little weird to me personally. Like he was like, "Oh wait, go ask the police, go ask the nigga." First of all, be quiet for you incriminate yourself and wake up some shit that maybe the statute of limitations hasn't expired yet, and you get yourself in some trouble. But I just felt like why you even felt the need to have to prove yourself like that. I just maybe that's just like you're literally Jada Kiss. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't get it.
sure it's about, rap. If that's a very, your credibility is a very sensitive thing. And I mean, the way Kendrick spent a whole year demolishing one particular rapper about the credibility, I get, they might be a little sensitive. Like, don't play on my name. I'm
Okay,
valid in these
touche.
streets. I'm valid in these streets. I don't know where y'all been, but I've been here.
Touche. You are absolutely right. I saw him. Jadakiss is actually really really nice and he's really nice to fans. And he's just one of the regular Douglas niggas who I ain't gonna say regular Douglas, but he acts like a regular Douglas nigga. Just be out in these streets in New York, honey. We saw him at I forget where, but it was at a shopping center one time in Brooklyn, and was just so nice, so down to earth, and all of that. It was just really nice. So shout out to
He's
him.
good.
And
I've always liked him. And, he definitely made a resurgence with in the, I was it, I guess, in the popular culture again when,
mhm.
during the pandemic, when he shut down his, What was the verses?
Oh, the Locks versus shit, who was it?
Dipset.
The
Dipset.
Dipset, okay. Yes,
That was
honey.
a good time. That was a good time.
And then his that album that he came out with in 2016, that was when I tell you that was an album for your ass, honey. Like
Mm.
he did his thing. He put his dingling in that album for real, for real.
Look, Jadakiss been that guy. He was
Yep.
holding the locks. I'm sorry. Me personally, Jadakiss carried them on his back. I'm not gonna hold you. That's my opinion.
Well, I would like for Sheik Luch to carry me on his back, honey, with his fine ass.
He definitely was the little I guess the cutest one on the in the
Hmm.
crew.
And yeah, and I just have to say that's who he really should have, but they probably don't want to do it because maybe it's just too much locks all at once, like to do the music and the podcast. But that's
Right.
who he really should have did it with.
That's who I thought at least Lux, I mean, why? I mean, I know him and Fat Joe been friends for a long time, but mm-mm.
Yeah, they have like really, really nice personalities. It's so fun to see them in interviews, and I just like to see their husbands, their fathers, I just love to see it.
Yeah, we could have left. He could have left Fat Joe at home.
Exactly. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about the locks, Jada Kiss, or Fat Joe's stinking ass before we go to the next story? Oh, well, the next story, I shouldn't mention this second part of the show because I don't want Moon to get me. But I talked about um, um, Rampage's son, Roger Jackson. So, and if y'all
Mm.
not familiar, he actually attacked somebody at a wrestling event, like jumped in the ring and pummeled that man, knocked him unconscious, honey. So, I have a couple of stories that we're going to discuss. So the first one is a TMZ article, pretty much talking about, and I'm sure, uh, I'm I was sure that this was going to happen because why wouldn't it? But now the LAPD are investigating that brutal beatdown, and y'all should see here in this TMZ article, Quentin Rampage Jackson's son, LAPD launches investigation over brutal beatdown. So that's him. That's Roger Jackson right there. That is Psycho Stu, who he beat up in the ring. But Roger Jackson, the son of former UFC light heavyweight champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, is in the crosshairs of the LAPD after brutally attacking an unconscious wrestling opponent. The LAPD tells TMZ cops were called to the wrestling event Saturday night and took a police report, and now the incident is being investigated. Um, and for those, I can play the video, after we read it for those of you that didn't see it. But as we reported, video shows Raja pummeling his KO'd competitor, Psycho Stu, at a private wrestling event at Knock X Pro Academy in Los Angeles. The vicious beatdown sent Psycho Stu to the hospital, where an insider told us he was fine and recovering as of Saturday night. A source close to the event tells TMZ they can guarantee Raja will never be allowed at Knox X Pro Wrestling match, following what the organizers condemn as a selfish, irresponsible act of violence. Douglas Malo, a wrestler for Knock X Pro Entertainment and Academy, was there in the mix as he attempted to drag Raja away from Psycho during the ferocious beating. He tells TMZ he ran into the ring to try to get Raja off Psycho, but he tells us Raja tried to fight him too, going after him with a double leg attack. He notes this is so shocking because they were supposed to do a small spot, and before you know it, he's raining down punches. Douglas said the whole situation was bad, tragic, and barbaric, and noted kids and families were in the stands watching, including his own mother. Rampage Jackson, a former UFC light heavyweight champion, apologized for his son's violence, saying Raja is a MMA fighter and a pro wrestler and had no business involved at an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. And Raja has so far kept his lips sealed about the viral fight. So, so this is the actual pummeling itself. Let me just play this quick clip.
You
I'm gonna play the
get
entire
on
thing.
it. You take my speech.
Look at, I mean, he was beating the soup out of him, honey. Good Lord. But and then we learned that it started because they, before the event, Psycho Stu actually hit him over the head with a beer can. So yeah, this was all. But they then Psycho apologized to um Raja, but I guess Raja wasn't having it and just he saw an opportunity and took it. But woo child, now the LAPD is investigating it. So go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It's just wild to me, like those are two entirely different disciplines. What the UFC and professional wrestling are two entirely different things. Like that was a full on attack. Like most people don't realize, like wrestlers, they train for literal years on their technique so that they don't get injured. And then here comes this weirdo in a wrestling ring and assaulting this person. It's crazy.
Crazy indeed. Go ahead, gorgeous.
2 points. I completely agree with favorite tourists, but also one I liked how the father didn't stick up for his son's foolery. That's one thing I hate about parents. Like your kids can be wrong, and it's okay to say that they're wrong. That doesn't mean you
Mhm.
love them less. And he was in the wrong, and he needs whatever punishment that because that was uncalled for. And these younger generation, like, yes, something can happen, but and if the person apologizes and sincerely, like, why are you still so amped up that you feel like that you still need to attack and do something crazy?
Crazy
And
like that
now
kind of
you're
there.
in trouble. Right, now you're in trouble. You
Hmm.
couldn't, like, where's nobody has emotional intelligence, nothing, like, we can't, you know, move forward. It's just ugh.
He beat the soup out of that dude. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Well, Miranda, is an easy answer to that because, as we are saying, these young generation, they can't read worth a damn, and in turn, they don't have rational thinking, and in turn, they don't have the capacity to regulate their emotions. So it's triple homicide,
I
essentially.
know.
It's crazy.
And it's
Hmm.
sad because you're like, the man said he was sorry, he apologized. Then you waited even longer and then just pounced on him when he thought the situation was like, it's just crazy. Go, are y'all? They're not okay. And I'm not even gonna say, are y'all okay? They're not okay. They're
No,
not
but
okay.
don't really. It didn't. Well, he wasn't thinking, but it's like, do you realize like the wrong punch could have ended
Hmm.
that man's career, and he doesn't have remotely as much access as Rampage's son, and there'd have been a whole world of trouble, not only for him but his entire family. Just not thinking. Johnny did not have five apples that day, and it's
Hmm.
Whatever. I want better for these kids, but oh, Lord, they make it so hard.
if better is in the form of some literature, I am in agreement with you, Miranda.
Hmm. What they
Yes.
need to do, Pizza Hut need to bring back, the reading program. I think that's going to occur because kids love a good person pan pizza. So bring it, giving them a certificate for reading the whole book, and I bet you them literacy numbers gonna go up.
When
Auntie, what was it called?
Huh?
What was it called, Auntie?
What, a personal pan
A
pizza?
personal pain. Yeah.
You know what they
We used to
say?
have real things where you had to read books to get your prizes. Those were good times, but they've dismantled the education system. And these kids have no critical thinking skills, no reasoning and deduction skills. Nothing is happening, okay? And it's horrible.
Do y'all remember like being so excited with like the Scholastic Book Fair and stuff like that? Now these
Yes.
kids are probably looking at us like we fucking crazy, getting excited over some books.
I please they don't.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I'm in agreement with you, Auntie. And when I was in school, we had two options. Yeah, so we had the Pizza Hut. We also, I get, I'm not sure if it's national, but it was regional. It was a a restaurant called Shakey's Pizza.
Oh no, we didn't have
Some of the best pizza and chicken I've ever had in my life. So we had two options. It was like either double the incentive, either you wanted the Pearl Snow Pan pizza from Pizza Hut, or you had the ability to go to the I think it was called, it's been a while, a salad bar that had all that stuff included at Shakey's Pizza. So it's
Yes.
I'm not sure if there's an I'm not, I don't want to derail the conversation. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if there's an actual equivalent to that, Auntie, unfortunately, or it hasn't been created yet.
Yeah. Probably because the people in charge of creating it, they can't read either. So,
You know,
George Bush, you will pay for your crimes. Well, and Moon, I'm actually glad that you brought up Rampage, Roger's dad, and how he released that statement saying he does not, his son was dead wrong. He wasn't even supposed to. He's a fighter. He's not even supposed to be at an event like that. But even with that girl, why is Rampage still getting death threats? But even after doing the right thing.
goodness gracious.
So,
I don't know. We're in a very horrible time.
yep. I agree, and I have the second article from TMZ, the second part of this story. Talk about, and you should see where it says here, Rampage Jackson getting death threats over son's incident with Psycho Stu. So he really didn't say much. He was coming out of the airport, and you can tell that his lawyers advised him not to talk about it. But he does mention that he was getting death threats and stuff. So let's just see what he has to say.
How you doing, Mr. Jackson? Anything to say about? And first of all, really sorry. We're really sorry about the whole situation. You know that. I wish I could. Yeah, I just wanted to see if there was any updates. All I'm saying is, all the racist people give me death threats and stuff like that. Like I'm a puppet master. Calling me a bad father. It's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. None of this is your fault. It's a. You made your explanation. Anything I say gets twisted anyway. So yeah, let's go let the turkey on. No, I hear. Hey, prayers are with you and your family, man. Seriously, no, seriously. Everybody exercise compassion here. Take care, Mr. Jackson.
Well, I must say that is a good looking man, ain't he? Woof. But yeah, and he said racists sent him a bunch of death threats, acting like he's the puppet master, saying he's the bad father and all of that. When after he done sat there and said, "I do not condone my son's actions at all," and put "at all" in all caps. Like, what more do you want from the man? You want him to punch him in the face, like on camera or something? Like, mm. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
now, Auntie, you and I know good and goddamn well their messages had nothing to do with the actual incident. They were waiting to say
Mhm.
something about Rampage Jackson that was racist and out of pocket. They just took this as an opportunity to express it. Like, let's call a thing here. I mean, he got attacked for reasons other than what his son did. And I'm not sure if it was covered in the story as you were reading, Auntie. So excuse me if this is a repeat question. So if memory serves me correctly, I believe Rampage's son also lost privileges to the streaming platform that he was using to make money. Correct?
Oh, I don't know. Let me go Google that real quick. Ooh, I had no idea about that. No, because no, if this article mentioned, I definitely didn't see it, or no, because I read the article. So nope, it didn't mention it. Let's see, Roger Jackson streaming service, and see what comes up. Mm, let me see. Let me see. Well, it's not coming up now. This might be the same person, but the only reason I'm not seeing it like when I'm looking through the news and stuff is because all the news is about that attack on Psychos too. So if it is here, it's buried. So, woo, child. That's wow. Wow. Oh, and I just noticed that y'all didn't even see the I'm sure y'all heard the video, but I don't think y'all saw it when I played it. My bad. I always forget to, go back to the slide where I'm sharing my screen. My mistake.
We got the gist. You good, Auntie?
Well, I would definitely put a pin in that wheel and look that up later to confirm if that's still if Raja is the same person that lost his streaming service privileges. I'm gonna put a pin in that and look that up to see if that's the same one. But did anybody want to add anything about Raja, Psycho Stu, or Rampage before we go to the next story? All right. Well, our next story. So I talked about in the second half of the show yesterday about Britney Spears and how she said her marriage to Sam Asghari was pretty much a distraction. She said that she married him to, she had a good time, even though it was short lived, but it was pretty much a distraction, and she did that to distract, from not being separated from her sons. Well, he has actually responded to that, and I have this link here from Entertainment Weekly. And you all should see where it says here, Britney Spears' ex-husband, Sam Asghari, speaks out after pop star calls her marriage her hardest years. So Britney Spears' ex-husband, Sam Asghari, in a new statement released Monday, the Traitors season 3 competitor reacted to Spears' recent comments about their time together after they wed in 2022 before separating 2 years later in 2024. Our marriage was very real to me, Asghari said in a statement obtained by Entertainment Weekly. Through Representative Brandy Cohen, the 31-year-old continued, "It may have been short, but we were together for 7 years. I was in love with her. I will always have love for her, and I wish her the best always." Good looking guy, I'll tell you that. So, Asghari's comments came after Spears, who's 43, shared on Instagram on Sunday a statement indicating that her time with her ex-husband represented the hardest years of her life per People. She also claimed that during her time with Asghari, she was cut off from calling or texting her children, including sons Jaden James and Sean Preston, whom she shares with ex-husband Kevin Federline. I remember in shock, my secret to survival was denial and a lot of tears. It's weird, me and Sam were married, but it almost felt like a fake distraction to help me deal with it. People reported, Spears said in her post, which was no longer on her Instagram profile of Tuesday morning. Entertainment Weekly has reached out to a representative for Asghari for comment. Asghari additionally spoke about his marriage to Spears in a recent interview with Sirius XM's Page 6 Radio, during which he acknowledged that his connection to the singer helped his career. "I can't sit here and lie and say it wasn't good for me," Asghari told the program. "Of course, it gave me for who I am." But he also said their union added extra hurdles for him to jump over in the industry as well. "We met on an acting set. We met and started at that moment, so I was already doing stuff anyway. But also, did it question certain things? Did it make me have to work harder to prove myself? Absolutely," Asghari said. In addition to his marriage, Asghari has appeared on scripted TV programs such as Hacks and Dollface, though his longest running television gig remains The Traitors, on which he competed as a faithful but was eliminated. And thank you to my California natives in the gay so or hmm. Anyway, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about Brittany or Sam before we go to the next story? All right. Well, our next story, and I am sure that y'all do not know who this young lady is, but baby, if you are a watcher of Power or its spinoff, When It Broke. So Alex Lepre. Let me get this link up here so y'all can see. Hurry up, huh?
Auntie, I
Okay,
actually
well
had a.
while that's trying to share, let me ooh,
Oh no.
oh whew, false alarm, child.
I was about to start singing Mary J. Blige.
Sorry guys, did I just leave the room?
You did indeed.
Okay, my apologies. I think I'm having some internet trouble. Look, I'm already traumatized from yesterday now. But okay, let me try this again. See. Ooh, sorry, sorry. And I'm actually gonna y'all should see this here. Let me make sure it's showing. No, it's not. Let me try this again. Somebody said Big S looks like a Gen X. Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's try this one more time. If it doesn't share this time, I'm just gonna read it with. Yeah, so it doesn't appear to be sharing. So anyway, whatever's clever. So, but anyway, Power star Alex Lepre arrested, faced by. So, Power Book 2 Ghost star Alex Lepre was arrested in DeKalb County on Monday, August 18th, and booked on charges of disorderly conduct and cruelty to children in the third degree. WSB TV2 reports. According to online jail records, Lepre, whose full name is Alexis Lepre Geyer, was processed into DeKalb County Jail shortly before 5 p.m. last week and released just over 24 hours later. At this time, no official court documents have been made public to clarify the details of the incident. While the charges raised immediate speculation online, her fellow co star Michael Rainey Jr. was quick to defend her, commenting under the Shade Room's repost of her mugshot. On the real, y'all gotta start reading before commenting. She didn't hurt any kids. Y'all are hoping that's the case so bad. That's crazy, shaking my head, he wrote. The 27-year-old actress has not yet publicly addressed the arrest. The Atlanta native's career began over a decade ago as a singer before getting into film and TV, landing roles alongside Gerard Butler and 50 Cent in the 2018 crime thriller Den of Thieves, and in the TV series Read Between the Lines, Red Band Society, and as Effie in the original Power TV series. She continued her role in the spin-off Ghost and was tangled in Tariq's 4 seasons of Complications. Ghost aired its final episode last October. And then I'm trying to I was hoping to share this screen so y'all can see her mug shot, but it doesn't look like the screen share is being cooperative. But let me try one more time. Yeah, it's not, and y'all can't see that, right? It looks like a blank screen.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, it's not sharing. I tried, damn it. But yeah, and y'all don't watch the show anyway, so y'all wouldn't even know this girl. But Power fans, I know y'all are gagged like me, honey. And who was it? It was Mark Lamont Hill. He actually tweeted endangerment, but he saw the third degree means she didn't do so. And that third degree means she had to take a guess and maybe smoke weed around the child or something like that. I don't know. But maybe smoking weed around a child or something like that. I don't know. But that's what I'm getting from what I understand third degree is. Ooh, uh, so I got an happy. Are you not able to hear me? Oh, well, we'll tackle that later. Well, did anybody want to add anything about this actress y'all don't know about before we go to the next story? All right. Well, this next story, and which is actually very annoying because there's video that I wanted to show, but because my screen share isn't working, it won't allow me to show it. My internet is coming in and out. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Safe side, and I'll be right back.
Miranda, are you there? If you look in my eyes, you can see what I see. If you look into my life, if you look into my life and see what I see, my life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. Life can be only what you make it.
It does.
When you're feeling down, you can only shake it. Mm,
Yeah, okay, so let's try now. Next story is about India Love
okay.
and Roddy Rich's child's mother. Okay, it looks like things are getting back to normal now. And hopefully you all should be able to see this. Maybe not, but if not, you all see
I can see
the
that.
link I posted here on slide 8. And you see where it says by way of hot new hip hop, India Love and Roddy Rich's child's mother clash in intense confrontation. Now there were no hands thrown, but it looks like there could have been. And yep, it looks like I still see that blank screen when trying to share my screen. So let me just let that go. But recently, India Love was linked with fans when she got an unexpected visit from the mother of Roddy Rich's child, Allie K. In a clip shared by Live Bites, she approaches the internet personality and sounds heated. "What's up, India?" She responded. From there, Kay says some things that can't be made out in the video. "I'm perfect. You came up to me with energy. You want to talk? I don't," India fired back. "What you want me to do? I'm confused." In a different clip, India tells someone nearby Kay was trying to confront her about a nigga she doesn't even think about no more. For those who don't recall, rumors that India and Ryder Rich were an item began floating around years ago. She was quick to shut these rumors down. "Roddy and I aren't together," she wrote in an Instagram comment at the time. "I apologize for the accidental video post that led to that assumption. Two friends who enjoy each other's time. That's literally life. Regardless, it looks like Kay has hard feelings towards her." Roddy Rich is the only person India has sparked romance rumors with, however. Earlier this morning, DDG or Duke Dennis. The whole thing with Duke, it just organically happened. That was my first time meeting him, being around him. That's what it gave. I guess you could say a spark. And then with DDG, it was the same thing. But then but then also we've known each other for longer. So it's just kind of like we have a more comfortable understanding. We respect each other's boundaries, she added. We're friends, but we can get flirty and playful because I know that he's not in a relationship. I'm not in a relationship, and it's for the entertainment of Twitch. They love it, they eat it up, says India. Girl, bye. She ain't tell probably Ryder Rich, allegedly, and she probably fucking Deuce Dennis too. Duke Dennis too. I mean, hey girl, get that dick, girl. All these niggas got money from what I understand, so get it how you live. I ain't mad at it. But I mean, be real about your shit. Being a real bitch is such a lost art. I tell you that. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about this girl before we go to the next story? Okay, well, let's get into some sports ball news, honey. This piece of sports ball news is about some MLB player. Now, I'm not familiar with this person, but we're talking about him. He's in the news for hitting his coach or accidentally hitting his coach with a bat, child, over a meltdown. So y'all should see in this TMZ article, MLB star Wilson Contreras hits coach with bat and throws gum bucket in wild meltdown. So Wilson Contreras posted in one of his coaches being hit by a bat. The wild scene unfolded in the seventh inning of the St. Louis Cardinals matchup with the Pittsburgh Pirates at Busch was low. Whatever that means. Uh, the Cards catcher at first he was going to walk away from the matter with just a few words, but once he got near his dugout, he exploded. Contreras. Things got so intense, his manager had to physically pull him away from the area, but Contreras' outburst continued. At one point, following his ejection, Contreras hurled his bat in disgust, and it appeared to nick one of his coaches in the face. Later, as he was headed to the showers, Contreras tossed a bucket of gum all over the infield. Contreras told reporters after the game he merely wanted the ump to call. He apologized to his coach for hitting him. The Cards, who went on to win the game 7-6, will now later this week, and he's no doubt staring down a suspension for his behavior. He should with his crazy ass. Just crazy. Hitting that man in the face with a bat like that. And because my screen share isn't working, it won't allow me to show the video to y'all. So that's that on that. But you can certainly see that the video of that, him hitting him in the back. And it doesn't look like it was intentional. He looked like he just went to throw it and maybe throw it around, but it ended up hitting the coach in the face. And it was crazy. So that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about this crazy ass motherfucker before we go to the next sports ball story? All right, well, our next sports ball story, someone by the name of Desmond Watson, who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, I guess not no more, but his weight has actually become a problem for him in football. So I have this article from Vibe that talks about it. And y'all should see where it says here Tampa Bay Buccaneers waive Desmond Watson, heaviest player in NFL history. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had a headline grabbing offseason due to multiple attention worthy additions to the roster. Unfortunately, Desmond Watson's time with the team has come to an end as the heaviest player in NFL history was waived this week, per Fox Sports. Watson's time with the Super Bowl winners was far from easy. He spent the entirety of training camp on the non-football injury illness list or NFI list while trying to cut weight. The underdrafted rookie showed some progress, dropping from 464 pounds to 449, reinforcing their belief that he may become a dominant inside presence. Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles spoke about placing the former Florida Gator on the NFI list. It's just about trying to get him better, to be a healthier player and getting him on the field a little more, he said. That's kind of where I'm at right now. He's working at it and we're working with him, and that's all you can ask right now. Watson spoke about his desire to be known for more than his size after going undrafted, but getting a shot to make the Bucks roster. I feel like my name is etched in history, of course, as the official heaviest player in the NFL or whatnot, he said. It's a good story. At the same time, I don't want it to be I'm sorry, I want to be known as a football player and a good football player at that. Now Watson has to find a new home so as he will not be added to the Buccaneers practice squad. Roster cuts are occurring within all 32 teams, but if Watson gets signed, he could be the heaviest player to ever play in an NFL game. He played in every single game during his 4 years with the Florida Gators, recording 63 tackles and 1.5 sacks, whatever that means. But yeah, I just found it to be really interesting. And I didn't, I guess maybe because I don't know much about sports ball, football in particular, I didn't even know there was like a weight limit like that because all them niggas look big and tall as hell. So I was a little shocked by this. But yeah. And then he was doing the work. He actually tried he tried and went from 465 to 400. Easy if you have all that weight. So I hate to hear that he has to find him another team, but if he's good and if those numbers that I read out, if they are good, then I'm sure he won't have a problem. But you should not listen to me when it comes to sports ball because I don't know what in the fresh fuck I'm talking about. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
Well, you have half of a fresh fuck about what you talk about, Auntie. This one thing I did question, like, his weight wouldn't have been the issue if his performance was there. So it may have been a combination of those two things combined. Because as we've seen, whenever you speak on NFL players in particular, they turn a blind eye to a lot of shit, especially if the results are there for a particular team. So it might be a combination of multiple things. They're just pinning it on one.
Yeah, you might be right. Oh, and the screen share finally works again. Yay! All right. Well, did anybody want to add anything else about this story before we go to the next one? All right. Well, this next story, honey, you dirty dog. How could you? That is so. And he said Timberland did the shadiest shit to him. So I have this article here from Hot New Hip Hop. And let me go where you can see my screen. You all should see where it says here Bryson Tiller says Timberland went ghost after telling him to quit his job from music. Timberland, you dirty dog. So, from what we've been told, Bryson Tiller had a chaotic start to his career. The Louisville native was potentially mere moments away from inking a deal with Drake and OVO. However, due to pressure back home to man the lack of response from the boy, he reluctantly took his sure shot with RCA instead. He revealed this in a recent interview with Rory and Mal on their podcast. But this wasn't the only weird story he had to share. Thanks to a clip caught by R&B radar, Bryson Tiller Stimbaland was the one to encourage him to pursue music. However, their connection didn't last long as a producer went ghost shortly after him to quit his 9 to 5 gig. He reluctantly took his short shot with RCA instead. He says they got in touch with one another after the singer told him to quit his job. The two got to talking about where he could go with it. He was like, yo, quit your job, Tiller recalled. The 32-year-old was worried about his future as he didn't know how he was going to make it work. But that's when Timberland said, this is work. Well, what you saying? Like I should quit my job? He was like, yeah. Tiller recalls pushing back I'm sorry, Tiller recalls rushing back to his place of work in his hometown in Philadelphia at the time to quit. Hilariously, he told them that Timberland wanted to work with him, but he thinks his gig thought he meant the boot company instead. Either way, after that, Bryson recorded more songs to show him, which he reveals were tracks made for the cut for track tracks that made the cut for Trap Soul. However, Timbo wasn't rocking with them too much and wanted more songs like "Don't." But with him already having a record like that, Bryson didn't feel he needed to make other records similar to it. Rory and Mal asked which cuts the beat Smith didn't like, which Tiller revealed to be "Sorry Not Sorry," "Been That Way," among others. Unfortunately, this when things ultimately came to an end between them. After returning home with cash from Timberland, he was unsure on what to do next. So he called him up and asked if he was signed. In a weird twist, Timberland claims he never told Tiller to quit. After that exchange, they never spoke again. So the songwriter got to work on his debut album in New York, and things eventually worked out. The interview follows the release of The Vices. It is the first half of The Double Album, with the other being Soulless. That's expected to drop sometime this fall. So, overall, to me, like he probably saw you for what you were. This newcomer who thinks he knows everything. He's telling you what's gonna. This is Timberland we're talking about. Hits maker. Motherfucker got hits that stick like grits, honey. Even though he's a whole weirdo, I'll admit that. But that's a weirdo with some hits that stick like grits. So when this person that has stick like grits is telling you, I'm really not feeling this sound. Maybe you should do more like this record. And then you's like, well, I already got something like that. I don't want that. And you feel like you know better than that hit maker. I probably would have ghosted your ass too. Are you kidding me? Boy, bye. Go ahead, favorite.
I have to agree, Auntie. I absolutely have to. I have to disagree. That is because as we know, uh, those hits that stick like grits that you were referring to, Auntie. Timbaland was high off his rocker, admittedly, when he made all of those, and so considering that he wasn't in his in it, he was in an altered mental state. I giving him any type of validity from that space, it didn't make much sense to me. Also, like how Timbaland told Bryson to quit his job. Like if Timbaland told Bryson to jump off a fucking cliff because it'll help his music, was he gonna do that too? Like at a certain point, accountability has to come into play somewhere. People can tell you anything, you know. And just because you have like a little bit of money from someplace, like Bryson didn't necessarily take accountability for where he was in life and all the bills that he had to pay. And the simple fact that he didn't know whether or not he was signed was a telltale sign. Like so, at a
Yep.
certain point, it's not really Timbaland's fault that Bryson made the adult decision to quit his job to make music. like, mm-mm. And, and plus, not to mention, he Timberland wasn't under any obligation to Bryson Tiller, so I can see why he kind of retracted and stepped away because he was under no contract to help him to begin with. So it all goes back to accountability. Bryson decided on his own terms to quit his job to pursue music. And he just had a conversation with Timberland, who threw him a couple dollars, but there was nothing more than that. That's what I got.
That part. And if I remember correctly, I remember reading that that job that he quit. And some feel free to if anybody want to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that job was Papa John's. I remember recording "Don't" in his living room while working at Papa John's at the time. So yeah, that's it. I know if Timberland told me to quit my I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause I hear I hear you. Really, I do. If Timberland was to tell me, but you know what, I would do it. But then again, I also won't be. I won't say that Timberland was the reason why I quit. was make I went did is I quit my because Timberland made it seem like, we would make some magic together. That's how my conversation would be. But hey, I'm not Bryson Tiller and I don't have a record deal, so go ahead, baby.
So that assumption, not backed by any type of paperwork, you would still go for it.
Sorry, my mic went out. Can you say I said that I heard you say that assumption and then it went out.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Okay, so if Timberland called you the prettiest auntie in the world, and in said you made the best music ever, however, it wasn't backed by anything concrete that would signify an actual business relationship, you would actually do it.
Well, yes, but then I would do it only because I'm also willing to give up some pussy. So that's just me though. But
Man, Jesus Christ.
that's right. I am willing to sleep my way to the top.
Oh my word, Jesus.
But no, in all seriousness, no. Uh, a contract or some type of a something. Even if it's a text message, I would need something. You know what I'm saying? But I just wouldn't on a whim, even what the man said, I wouldn't honestly. But I'm also how old is Bryson Tiller? He's what in his 20s, and this is compared to my being 39 years old. So I've lived a little bit more life than what he has. So that's probably why I wouldn't do it. Maybe because I know better. Uh,
Mm.
that's that one. That well, I got two more stories left. Did anybody want to add anything to Bryson Tiller or Timbo before we go to the next one? All right. Well, this next story, so it actually broke a couple of days ago, but Rich, honey, he done somebody done tried to break into his home while he was there. That's some scary shit, honey. But I have this link here from All Hip Hop that talks about it. And let me make sure y'all see this here. All right. So you should see where it says Lionel Richie survived. So Lionel Richie had an unexpected late night scare when an alleged intruder attempted to break in his Beverly Hills home while he was inside, prompting a swift police response and an arrest just blocks away. According to the Beverly Hills Police Department, officers responded to a burglary call shortly after midnight on August 22nd. Um, a 38-year-old man was taken into custody near the intersection of Wilshire Boulevard and Beverly Glen Boulevard on suspicion of residential burglary. Multiple outlets, including TMZ, confirmed that the targeted residence belongs to Richie, the Grammy-winning artist behind classics like All Night Long and Hello. The suspect reportedly fled. The suspect reportedly fled after triggering the home's security system, which may have prevented the situation from escalating. Nothing was taken from the property. A department spokesperson said the man was arrested a few blocks away from the home during the investigation. Police have not released the suspect's name or any further details about possible motives. The incident comes on the heels of another high profile burglary case in Los Angeles involving Brad Pitt. On June 25th, a break in occurred at Pitt's home while he was away. Authorities later arrested four individuals believed to be connected to a series of home invasions across Southern California. Ritchie has not yet commented publicly on the attempted burglary. As of now, no injuries were reported and the case remains under investigation. So we can pretty much assume that the person who broke into the house is white. How do we know that? Because the person was arrested, not one mugshot, and the police didn't even want to release his name. So we know it sounds about white. So I'm just glad the shit didn't escalate, and I'm glad they responded promptly. So I'm glad to hear it. Because who knows what could, and then the fact that he didn't steal anything, like I I don't know if he had something nefarious on his mind, or maybe he just didn't steal anything because he didn't have time to, because he immediately triggered the alarm. I don't know. But long story short, I'm just glad Lionel Richie is okay, because that shit is scary, I'm sure. Well, does anybody want to add anything about the famous Hello singer before we go to our last story? All right. Well, y'all, our last story is about a millennial because a lot of us really, really love Rough Rider. Fun fact, Swiss Beats tells us where the name came from, and y'all will not believe it. It's actually the last person you expect to come up with that name. So y'all see I have this all hip hop article, and you all should see where it says here Swiss Beats salutes his motorcycle riding grandmother who coined Rough Rider's name. So, yes, Gen Xers and millennials, Rough Riders came from Swiss Beats' grandma. So Swiss Beats honored his grandmother's legacy in a tribute post, revealing she came up with the name for the legendary hip hop group Rough Riders. On Tuesday, August 26th, the Grammy winning producer posted a photo of his grandmother, Sandra Dean, sitting confidently on a massive bike alongside his uncle Joaquin Wading, co founder of Rough Riders Music. The image, taken Sunday, August 24th, was paired with a caption that gave credit where it was long overdue. My grandmother is the one who named Rough Riders, and she's still riding high in the New York streets. Alhamdulillah, Dean family for life, Swiss wrote. He added, she's still outside. And look at this baddie, honey. You better get it, girl. She looks fabulous, honey. You better get it. So the Rough Riders brand, which launched in 1988 as an artist management company, later became a powerhouse label and lifestyle movement, home to acts like DMX, Eve, The Locks, and Swiss himself. But the name came straight from Sandra Dean's living room. In a 2017 interview, Wadeen recalled the moment the name was born. I was at my mother's house and I said to her, the special effects name don't really work for me. I don't really like this name. Let's find a name that makes sense. And then I was watching a black cowboy movie at the foot of her bed. He continued, I looked at my mother and I said, there it is. Look at us, Rough Riders. And then my mother said, ride or die. I said, that's what we're going to do. And that's how that was discovered. So not only did she come up with the Rough Riders name, she came up with the term ride or die. Anyway, Sandra Dean, mother to Wah and grandmother to Swiss, told us in a 2022 interview about the family's musical roots and how her children's passion for singing and performing music, and their father likes music. So I think they got it from us and they just took it to another level, she said. Then the three of them got together and made history. You can see where the music is, and it's in their heart. So, Wah co-founded Rough Riders Entertainment with his siblings Darren D. Dean and Siobhan Dean. The brand would come to define an era of late '90s and early 2000s hip hop. So, shout out to Miss Sandra Dean, honey, and baby Rough Riders, honey. I mean, I if I play like, especially that first Rough Riders album they had, that will bring back some good memories if I played it right now, baby. That was a big part of my growing up. I love the music. I love people who came from that record label. They gave us Eve. So and to know that all of this was started by Swiss Beats' grandma was just heartwarming. Oh, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
So technically, Sweet's Beats' own grandmother has more hits than he does. That's interesting. The North
Well, yeah.
remembers. The North
Yes.
remembers how he tried to play in the dancing lady's face when they were talking about the verses before they sold it out. Oh, she don't have enough hits to go up against Missy Elliott. And then all of a sudden, it comes out that when he makes bad decisions in women, and also his grandmother has more talent and more hits than he does. It's very interesting how that happens, don't you think?
I think it's very interesting.
Hmm.
Well, hey. Well, that was that on that. Well, that was before I go and watch this. Did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea that I might have missed? I believe Moon may have had something, but I think she may be unavailable at the moment. But go ahead, favorite Taurus. Oop, I think my audio might have went out. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Okay. I had one today. Um, I don't watch the show, but I'm familiar with Real Housewives of Potomac, and I guess Karen is being released next Tuesday. Yay, I guess. I don't know what to.
Back that up, but I couldn't find like any. So I said let's wait till like some kind of official website reports on it. But this guy, Jay's reality blog, he's usually pretty accurate. So, he did say via the Jasmine brand. Okay,
So good for her, I guess.
good for. And we go get her some cranberry juice. Don't get her no more drinks. Well, thank you for that piece of tea, Will. Did anybody else have any other tea? Well, y'all, it has always a pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can make the live show. Don't forget to hit up our email, tea@auntiederek.com. Until then, you all have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye, everybody.